Here are 5 things that I completely stopped buying after cancer. You do not want to miss this. After I was diagnosed with cancer, people were claiming that all kinds of things caused cancer. Cleaning products, makeup, certain foods. But look, if I believed everything I read online, then there would be nothing in my house, I would have nothing to eat, and I would be going crazy. So instead, I focused on what products had been proven to increase your risk of cancer or cancer recurrence. Products or food that had a known link to cancer. If I could eliminate those things, then I would be truly lowering my risk of cancer. Here are 5 things that I completely stopped buying after cancer. And the last one, it's gonna surprise you. Starting with number 1, processed meats. Now, this information might be new to you, so let me show you why there's a link between processed meats and cancer. Processed meats like bacon or sausage or deli meat has been shown to increase your risk of cancer or a cancer recurrence. The link is well established and quite clear, with many organizations actually discouraging the consumption of processed meats because it will increase your risk of cancer. Even eating a small amount of processed meats, like 50 grams a day, will increase your risk of cancer by about 14%. But what exactly is processed meat? This is a meat that's had something done to it to prolong its shelf life or taste or change its color. So think sandwich meats, hot dogs, or charcuterie boards. I'm sorry, I know this is a lot of delicious foods here, but the link between processed meat and cancer is quite clear, and that's why I personally stopped buying it. Now, some people will say that processed meats are safe as long as they're nitrate-free. But this is not true. It's still unclear as to what exactly is causing the increased risk of cancer when people consume processed meats. So for the time being, it's best to avoid all processed meats. Most of the research that's been completed on processed meats has been around red processed meat. There is less information on white processed meats. Because of this, you might assume that white processed meat is a better alternative to red processed meat. But again, there's still information lacking about this. Now, people will say to me, well, my grandma, she ate hot dogs twice a week. She lived to be 105 and she never got cancer. And first of all, this is amazing to live such a long life. I am so glad that happened for her. But eating processed meat is not a guarantee that you will get cancer, and avoiding processed meat is not a guarantee that you will not get cancer. It does not mean for sure that you will get cancer or you won't. It's like wearing a seatbelt. We do know that if you're wearing a seatbelt and you get in a car accident, you're more likely to survive that car accident. It's not guaranteed that you will survive, but it's definitely gonna help. The exact same thing can be said for almost every product in this video. It's not guaranteed, but it will definitely help. Now, changing your diet, it can be challenging, especially cutting out food that you've eaten for a really long time. So if you've never really liked processed meat, then okay, great, cut it out completely. But even if you reduce your consumption of processed meat, this can lower your risk of cancer. You can still have a hot dog at a birthday party or enjoy a charcuterie board at a book club. We can balance the consumption of processed meat with still living life. We can eat processed meats on only specific occasions, or you can opt for white processed meat, or you can just avoid it altogether. It all depends on how much risk you want to take on. For me, this means I do not buy these items and I don't have them in my house, but if I go out for brunch or to a party, I might enjoy them. The amount I eat is considerably lower than what I ate before cancer, but I don't totally deprive myself either. Okay, but on to number 2, soda pop or soft drinks. Cancer is complex, and many people will claim that sugar fuels cancer. But this is an oversimplification of cancer. Cancer cells do use sugar to grow, but so does every other cell in your body. And look, cancer is a disease. It's clever. It's gonna find a way to grow. If you stop eating sugar, it will still grow. Now, these claims about sugar fueling cancer, they're derived from a finding from a scientist named Dr. Warburg. He was a scientist that discovered that cancer uses a lot of sugar to grow and replicate. But this doesn't mean that if you stop eating sugar, cancer stops growing. Instead, cancer just turns to another pathway to grow and it keeps on going. Now, sugary drinks can increase your risk of cancer. Let me explain why. The difference here is really important. Consuming sugary drinks can lead to weight gain, which we know can increase your risk of cancer. The empty calories in sugary soda pop, well, they don't add anything nutritionally and they're not good for anyone. The added calories can cause you to gain weight, and the result could be that you're at an increased risk of cancer. But here is a dark problem with people pushing the narrative that sugar fuels cancer. We now know that cancer survivors who have never had an eating disorder before can develop an eating disorder after cancer because of the copious amount of food rules that are pushed upon them as cancer survivors. Rules like sugar fuels cancer, especially when people say that you have to eliminate all sugar from your diet. This overwhelming information and strict guidelines can cause unnecessary stress. You do not need to completely rule out sugar from your diet. If you enjoy eating fruit or want to have an ice cream cone with your grandkids, then go for it. Having it every once in a while will not cause your cancer to come back. Plus, enjoying food is just part of life. It's how we celebrate and connect. It's important to our cultures. Just remember that you can live a balanced life after cancer. You have the ability to make really good cancer-reducing choices. Now, if you're looking for an alternative to soda pop or soft drinks, then there's lots of good options. Try flavored soda water. It has little or no sugar added to it. Cutting out these sugary beverages can help you maintain or get to a healthy body weight, and this will help lower your risk of cancer. Okay, so after cancer, sugary drinks or soda pop, soft drinks, that's something you want to avoid. These are drinks like Coke, Pepsi, 7-Up. And this is one food that I completely stopped buying after cancer. Okay, but that brings me to number 3, tobacco or cigarettes. Now, this should not come as a big surprise to you. It's well known that tobacco or cigarettes causes cancer. As a cancer survivor, you have so many choices to make to lower your risk of cancer, and this is something that is clearly scientifically proven. Smoking increases your risk of cancer. Just don't do it. Okay, but on to number 4, Starbucks drinks. I know, oh no, the beloved Starbucks. But hear me out, because not all Starbucks drinks are bad. Look, life gets busy and sometimes it's good just to have convenient options. That's where Starbucks comes in. But some of the items on its drink menu are not great for cancer survivors. Do not be fooled by the creative names and the pretty cups. Okay, so we've already dived into the science behind sugary drinks and the risk of cancer. But these Starbucks drinks have so much hidden sugar that they weren't being mentioned on their own. So many cancer survivors completely forget the amount of sugar that's added in to some of these Starbucks drinks. This is so easy to consume, they're so delicious, and they're full of unhealthy and unwarranted calories. And you know that being overweight or at an unhealthy body weight, this is what increases your risk of cancer. And consuming these sugary drinks, well, you drink them back so fast that you can still feel hungry after you've drank them. Okay, so when at Starbucks, here are some of the most beloved drinks that you need to be cautious of. We need to rethink our beloved pumpkin spice latte, packed with 38 grams of sugar, 42 carbohydrates, and is 300 calories. This is an option that you want to avoid. If you're a fan of caramel, then the caramel macchiato is only slightly better. 35 grams of sugar, 33 grams of carbohydrates, and 250 calories. But in order to be a cancer thriver, this really isn't a good option either. The next time you want to treat yourself to Starbucks, then try making some swaps. Change to non-fat milk, as this is going to lower the calories. Or order the drink half sweet, because this will significantly reduce the sugar. And finally, although it is a lot of fun, don't order whipped cream on top. Now, that being said, you don't want to completely avoid treating yourself, but you can make some really strategic changes here to lower your cancer risk. For me, I don't order any sugary Starbucks drinks. If I do order them, I stick with an Americano or an iced Americano. Okay, and on to the last thing that I stopped buying after cancer. Alcohol. This may come as a surprise to you, but alcohol increases the risk of cancer or a cancer recurrence. Now, alcohol is a common way that we use to come together, socialize, or celebrate. Now, if you feel like you can't completely cut out alcohol and you want to enjoy a glass of wine or a beer or a cocktail with friends or family every once in a while, then you should. The amount of alcohol you consume is proportional to your cancer risk. So the more alcohol you drink, the greater the risk. Now, many people ask if wine will also increase your risk of cancer. Or maybe there's an alcohol that's more healthy, but all alcohol is the same it all increases your risk of cancer. Now, if you want to avoid alcohol or even drink less, then there's a few strategies that you can start to use. You could pick a lighter alcohol content, like a light beer. There are also lots of great non-alcoholic options, like beer or wine or mocktails. They taste great and they're not going to be increasing your risk of cancer. The options are there for you. Now, while these products are known to increase your risk of cancer, and I personally made the choice to stop buying them, it might not be the right choice for you. And that's okay. The power is in your hands. But now that you know what increases your risk of cancer or cancer recurrence, it's your choice to keep it or avoid it. It's your life, it's your body, and you are in control. Okay, so now that you know about the products that I stopped buying after cancer, the next thing that you need to know about are my 9 steps to healing from stage 3 cancer. Click the link right here. I'll see you in the next video.